going to start with the districts. So we have District Number 1, Mr. Magnus Sonny McGee.
Raise your right hand, please. I, Magnus W. McGee,
I, Magnus W. McGee,
do solemnly swear or affirm
solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws
and the laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
all duties
all duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as police juror,
as police juror,
District 1 of
District 1
Cameron
of
Parish,
Cameron Parish,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Good job.
District Number 2, Mr. Michael Fuel.
You have someone? You saw how he did it? Okay. Stand right there. I, Michael Forrest Fuel,
I, Michael Forrest Fuel,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties
all the duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as police juror,
as police juror,
District 2 of Cameron Parish,
District 2 of Cameron Parish,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding, so help me God.
and understanding, so help me God.
Congratulations.
District 3, Mr. Sam Bordelon. They can move that to the thing.
I, Samuel Kinder Bordelon,
I, Samuel Kinder Boardlaw,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent
all the duties incumbent
on me
on me
as police juror,
as police juror,
District 3 of Cameron Parish,
District 3 of Cameron Parish,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding, so help me God.
and understanding, so help me God.
Congratulations.
District Number 4, Mr. Danny Myers.
Please raise your right hand. I, Danny E. Myers,
I, Danny E. Myers,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and laws of the United States
and laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state.
and that I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent upon me
all the duties incumbent upon me
as police juror,
as police juror,
District 4 of Cameron Parish,
District 4 of Cameron Parish,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Mr. Johnny Watson, District number 4.
Please raise your right hand. Speak into the microphone. I, John E. Watson,
I, John E. Watson,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States,
and the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state.
that I will faithfully and impartially
I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties
all the duties
incumbent upon me
incumbent upon me
as police juror,
as police juror,
District 4 of Cameron Parish,
District 4 of Cameron Parish,
according to the best
according to the best
of my ability and understanding,
of my ability and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Mr. Mark Daigle, District 5.
Raise your right hand. I, Mark Anthony Daigle,
I, Mark Anthony Daigle,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
or affirm
or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of this state,
of this state,
and that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
and perform all duties
and perform all duties
incumbent on me
incumbent on me
as police juror,
as police juror,
District 5 of Cameron Parish,
District 5 of Cameron Parish,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Mr. Ronald Nunez, District 6.
Raise your right hand, speak into the microphone, please. I, Ronald G. Nunez Jr.,
I, Ronald G. Nunez,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution and laws
that I will support the Constitution and laws
of the United States and the Constitution and laws
of
of this state,
this state,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
partially discharge,
and perform
perform
all the duties
duties
incumbent on me
incumbent on me,
as police juror,
police juror,
District 6 of Cameron Parish,
District 6 of Cameron Parish,
according to the best
according to the best
of my ability
of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations, gentlemen. Welcome aboard. So we'll call the meeting to order. I discussed with you the idea of a chairman pro tem just to conduct your election of president, and the president would take over. It needs to be one of you. It has to be a sworn juror, so that was a mistake. So I know Sonny has the most experience in running meetings. I don't know but y'all have to elect a temporary chairperson just to run the election for president, and then the president will take over the meeting. So I'll turn it over to you, gentlemen. So we need an y'all need to open nominations for a chairman pro tem, and it has to be one of y'all.
We'll open nominations for Chairman Pro Tem. Do I have any nominations?
I nominate Sonny McGee.
Any other nominations?
Will there be no other nominations? You're the chairman pro tem, so you'll conduct the election of the president.
Okay.
All right.
That being said, we'll move forward to election of officers. First one's up is the president. Do I have any nominations for the president of the police jurisdiction?
I nominate Ronald Nunez.
Second.
Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Ronald Nunez is president.
It was moved by me. Mark, you made the second, right? Did you make the second, or Sam?
I think Sam did.
Mr. Sam did, okay, thank you. I gotta get used to these initials.
Will Ronald take care of the rest of the nominations?
Yes, so yeah, you have Mr. Nunez as your president. You can start back at number 2 and have your pledge and prayer, and then have your vice president after that. That would be my suggestion.
All right. Let's do this.
You can pick somebody to do the pledge and the prayer. If you want somebody to lead the pledge and the prayer, you can.
All right, we'll say a prayer, Michael, you can. All right, election of vice president. All right, guys, number 4, we're gonna open the floor for election of the vice president.
I move to elect Mark Nagel for vice president.
Second.
Any other nominations? Okay, Mark Nagel. Any more nominations? Okay, Mark Nagel, vice president. All right, number 5, we have any public comment? Okay, so, it looks like we have, Mr. Gilbo.
Gentlemen, thank you for the privilege of being in front of you. I come with an issue with Jeff Davis Electric. I've got some literature I'd like to give y'all pertaining to that. They're wanting to come in and put a hard line, loop through Cameron Parish, which our family does not have a problem with that, none whatsoever. Where our problem lies at is the location of the poles between Creole and the Y, which is 2782 and Trostclair Road. There's going to be a total of 96 poles. Those 96 poles, for the most part, are going to be in a drainage lateral, in a drainage ditch along Highway 2782. That's going to constitute, it's going to cause major, major problems with flooding in that area. I just don't see them doing what they're doing. There's other avenues that they can take to prevent that from happening, prevent from flooding people out. Not only will they flood them out, they're going to cause erosion to the road, erosion to driveways. Values of your property are going to go down. I'm going to hand you these flyers. I've already attended a drainage board meeting, or drainage district number 4, and explained to them what was occurring, so they would know. We're also understanding that Jeff Davis has applied for a permit from the parish and also one from the state to do this work. I don't know what that permit reads or what it entails, but to give you an understanding, this DOTD permit, which is being reviewed, and also Cameron Parish Police Jury, which is being reviewed. I'm not here to condemn or try to stop this progress that Jeff Davis is proposing, but to prevent any additional and further problems. If the proposed project for this 230K running from Creole to the intersection of Highway 2782 and Trostclair Road is allowed to go forth as projected maps, this action will have major impact on drainage, usage, value of said property on the south side of Highway 2782, also causing erosion, undermining of driveways and state highway along proposed route. The proposed calls for 6 poles per half mile. These poles are 4.5 feet across the base at the bottom. The ditch they're putting them in is 4 foot. So you can see right there, there's going to be no drainage. Drainage in that area, if those poles are put in, is going to be non-existent. It'll have to go across the property to be able to get to the drainage district's laterals. Raw Engineering, contract, land staff, and Jeff Davis Electric are working together to acquire a new servitude purchased by Jeff Davis Electric. This servitude is in addition to a privilege and franchise which was given to them in 1946 It was filed April 18th, 46, file number 50035, and recorded April 1946. When I questioned Jeff Davis Electric why the new poles were put on the south side of the road, why they weren't put on the north side of the road, I was given that top sheet that y'all see there, the one on top, which they said they had the right, Cameron Parish Police Jury had given them the right to put them along, above, underground, state highways and parish roads in Cameron Parish. Still no problem, until I found out that they were putting them in a ditch. That creates a problem. They handed me that privilege and franchise saying that the Cameron Parish Police Jury had given them the right to do so. Section 1 that gives Jeff Davis Electric privilege and franchise for a period of 99 years from the date the ordinance takes effect to erect, construct, maintain, operate lines or poles, wires, etc. for the transmission of electricity, energy along, across public roads, state highways, streets, alleyways within the parish of Cameron for a purpose of transmitting and distributing and supplying electrical for lights, heat, power, including right to erect, construct towers, cables, guy wires, anchors, so on and so forth, across all public roads and state roads. All these wires need to be at least 22 foot above hard surface, the road or whatever. What they didn't look at was the last section, section 2 of that franchise. Section 2 reads that the location and or relocation of all wires, lines, poles, structures of state highways and on any road not constituted part of the state highway, but which is a public road, subject to the approval of the Cameron Parish Police Jury, and said lines, poles, wires, and structures shall not at any time interfere with the use, repair, maintenance, or drainage. It's like oversight on their part of said state highways and public roads. Any expenses incurred by the Louisiana Highway Commission or Cameron Parish Police Jury in connection with the location of and construction of poles and other structures pursuant to this grant shall be borne by the guarantee, which is Jeff Davis Electric. This was thus done and adopted Cameron Parish Police Jury in a special session conveyed on 19th day of 1944. Yeas was Horace Meir, Vi Ontario, Aristide Hebert, and Joseph Urbelling. Nays, none. Absent, Vincent. I'm asking if this privilege and franchise is a legal and binding document. It should be honored by the Cameron Parish Police Jury, and if not, then we would like to have some language of this privilege and franchise to be introduced into the new permit that Jeff Davis is trying to get. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr.
Any
Gill.
questions?
I have one. I was here at the public meeting, I think you were too,
Yes.
which brought up the first idea of poles being in the ditch. And if I understood at the meeting that they said that was more of a starting point from where, in other words, they had to start somewhere as far as locating the poles, and that they could very well be moved other than in the ditches. Have you talked to them since then, or have they addressed that since then?
I haven't talked to anybody with, Raw Engineering, but I did talk to one of the persons and with Land Management, and there's, progress being made right now to address that problem.
Okay.
I don't know what that entails, but it is in the works.
Yeah, but like I said, I know that I think Mike Heinen that night admitted that they was just starting points for them to be able to visualize where the line had to go. And, like I said, I know you had brought it up about stakes being in the ditch and stuff, and then like you said, that may or may not even happen or be in the area once they actually finalize their route.
Right. Well, the reason I'm here is I don't want them in the
Yeah, well, exactly.
I don't want that little 5-year-old boy to have to walk through waist deep of water
Yeah.
to get to the school bus.
Yeah, I just didn't know if you'd heard back from them, because that
No,
was.
sir, I haven't heard a word. The only word I got was Thursday afternoon. I got a call from the people, going around getting the servitude signed. And they did tell me that there was something in the works. And Kara just got through telling me a while ago that there is something in the works. Exactly what that is, I have no idea. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, Mr. Gibbs, if you got a second, I'd like to address, I appreciate you coming out and giving us your insight on it. I just want you to know, I spoke with the Gravity Board and, the Gravity Drainage Board in the Creo area and Cameron. They both reached out to Jeff Davis Electric in the matter. They're supposed to be at the next Creo meeting because they want something kind of like you're looking for, more defined, as in, we won't put them in the ditch in your area, but, you know, across the whole board. So we are definitely addressing it and on the same page.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any questions? Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, item number 6, Cameron Parish Port update.
Good afternoon and welcome. I asked Katie for just a few moments of your time this afternoon to introduce myself. To those of you who do not know me, my name is Kim Monte, and more importantly, the work I do for the parish. I am primarily responsible for economic development within the parish, which includes industrial, small business, and tourism. I really feel like I have an overwhelmingly large amount of work to do, and that's okay. Although we are leading the world in LNG production and exports, I think that there is one thing that we in Cameron Parish should have learned from the glory days. It should have been not to put all of our eggs in one basket. With that being said, LNG is very important to us, but so is diversification and other types of businesses. We need other industrial businesses across the parish as well, small businesses to come back. I'm of the opinion that we have never marketed the tourism industry for the hunting, fishing, and recreational capital that we are, and I have plans to do that. We may just have to think differently and a little outside of the box, but that's okay. We should be good at that because most of us have now become accustomed to our boxes changing pretty often due to storms. You see, we are made a little differently than others. We don't grow bitter, we just grow more creative, more determined, and more innovative in the way we do things. One of the innovative ways of oystering that the port was fortunate enough to bring to Cameron by partnering with Sea Grant and Wildlife and Fisheries was the development and implementation of our Cameron Parish Alternative Oyster Culture Park in the southwestern part of the Calcasieu Lake. AOC, as we call it, is the farming of oysters in cages. This method of growing oysters in the water column produces a unique oyster desired in the half-shell market. It's a boutique oyster that will not compete with our naturally grown Cameron Parish oysters, but will complement what can be brought to the market by Cameron oystermen. The port manages the 48-acre park, which has private divided plots that can be leased by the oystermen to grow and harvest oysters year-round. Some of our tenants will have their first crops ready to harvest this month. I'm planning a boat tour event in the spring, which will include a visit from the Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser, and the Regional Restaurant Association to promote and market the boutique oysters to chefs and restaurant managers in the region. The little update on familiarizing us with the LNG plants. Venture Global LNG CP2, the 20 million ton per annum plant expansion, and CP2 Express, the pipeline to feed the new expansion, is expected to reach final FERC approval and FID, final investment decision, any day now, and begin construction with Worley as their engineering, procurement, and construction company. Commonwealth LNG is a 9.3 million ton per annum proposed LNG plant set to invest $5 billion to build on the southernmost end of the west side of the Calcasieu Ship Channel. Commonwealth has named Technip as their EPC. They are fully FERC permitted, but awaiting one permit, the permit to ship LNG internationally. Although this permit will not be needed for a couple of years, it is required for them to be able to meet FID. They are expecting to receive this permit in the second quarter of 2024. Although both Cameron LNG and Cheniere Sabine Pass have major expansions in the works, they are further down the road for completion. Cameron LNG's expansion is fully permitted but awaiting FID. Cheniere's expansion is still in the pre-filing phase. Offshore wind updates. BOEM, Bureau of Ocean Energy Management, Gulf of Mexico wind lease is in federal waters 40 miles off the Cameron coast. In August of 2023, this lease was awarded to RWE for $5.6 million. RWE's Gulf lease area has the potential to support 2 gigawatts of offshore wind capacity or power 435,400 homes. The company signed an agreement with Energy to potentially supply energy to power customers in Louisiana and Texas. Louisiana state waters are also drawing interest from wind energy developers. 2 weeks ago, 2 companies signed agreements with the state of Louisiana to develop wind farms within state waters, which extend 1 to 3 miles out from the coast. The Danish firm Vestas was granted 60,000 acres off Cameron Parish, and Diamond Offshore Wind, a Mitsubishi subsidiary, was approved for 6,162 acres near Port Fourchon. The decisions to place these wind farms where they were placed was done at the state level. And although these wind leases and waters off our coast were not decisions made by Cameron Parish leaders, they are going to be there. And it is now all of our jobs to make sure that our people and our parish are able to benefit from them. Small business and tourism. I believe we are a blank slate for small business and tourism. As we bring some of this industry, like the offshore wind development and work, to make the parish a tourism destination for the sportsman paradise, the small businesses will begin to thrive again. My number one goal for travel through the parish is to get a gas station up and running in both Creole and Holly Beach. We cannot ask people to come visit and come work in our parish if they do not have access to this simple amenity. I have several ideas for small business development that I would love to see happen throughout the parish, and I'm willing to put the work in to see it happen. I look forward to working with each of you on making this a reality. We are working as a parish team to get the inland stretch of the Mermentau River dredged from Catfish Locks down to Highway 82, because the Mermentau is responsible for draining such a large portion of our parish as well as Calcasieu, Jeff Davis, Vermilion, and Lafayette. And as we expand in these new industries, I'm a firm believer that we are going to need to locate shallow draft business on the river docks again. None of this happens quickly, but we are laying the groundwork now to get this done in phases. I have included a copy of our Port Board meeting dates along with my business card and invite you to attend our meetings as you have suggestions or questions or anytime you have the time. We definitely welcome you and look forward to working with you. I thank you for your time today and just look forward to working with you. Do you have any questions about any updates that I can help with? Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you once again.
Brian, Butler Bourgeois.
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm Butler Bourgeois with Arthur J. Gallagher, and I worked with the police jury on their commercial insurance program, general liability, property, the fire department. We do want to let you know, just come in front of you and talk about the property insurance program that we put together last year and that we're working on this year, upcoming renewal at the end of February. With the help of Wendy Harrington, we put together just an updated list of locations and values, which is in your board packet. Our plan was to update the values so that we could gather more underwriters to take a look at our program. We currently have about 6 underwriters covering our property in Cameron Parish. Our expectation is to look at more underwriters wanting to bid on our program. So we wanted to make sure that our values were accurate, and we wanted to make sure that our locations and our roof updates were accurate. The more information that we provide them, the more opportunity that we have to have underwriters take a look at our program. That breeds competition. So we do approach in our business, I'm sure, several parishes, most of my business is public entity, property and liability. We do plan, we have approached Lloyd's of London, as well as a slew of about 40 domestic carriers. Not all of them will be wanting to participate, but we're putting our best foot forward as far as information and data about our property to have as many participate as possible. And we'll, of course, through that process, we'll whittle that down to the most competitive carriers, most competitive rates to give us the best outcome. I just thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. All right, thank you. Number 8, review the voting agenda items.
So y'all can look over items 9 through 24, and if y'all have any questions, y'all can ask them now. You can ask during the voting meeting too, but you can definitely ask them.
Number 11. I got some questions just because I got some concerns from different entities and stuff that, we pay bills for. Is there any policy and procedure in place that is hindering, like, bills to be paid late and stuff like that? Or there's something, we could fix or change if it need be?
So we do have a purchasing policy and procedures, an entire accounting manual. We'd be happy to share it with you guys if you want to review it. But we typically only pay bills, if they submit their bills by the 25th of the month, then we process it. If it doesn't come in until after the 25th of the month, then we have to put the bill to the next month until you guys review it, because you have to approve all of the bills. Most of the time when invoices come in, if it's a contract bill, then we go ahead and we process it early, because we do have an executed contract with the contractor. You have it in the budget. You gave us authority to pay any bills up to the amount that the contract allows. So those are automatically paid as they come in. All of our utility bills are automatically paid as they come in. A part of our policy authorizes your parish treasurer to pay utility bills without the approval of the jury. You grant that authority to her in the budget. But anything else, we have a requisition and purchase order policy. So if anyone, no matter if they're in the library, if they're in the fire board, or if they're in any of our departments. Now, I'm not talking about waterworks or drainage boards or rec districts. We're just talking about fire and library, and then road and bridge, health unit, courthouse, jail. Anything that's purchased, they have to submit a purchase requisition. The purchaser has to sign it. The authorizing supervisor of that department has to sign it, it goes to your parish treasurer per the policy that the jury adopted. There's certain thresholds according to public bid law. So I think right now 60,000 is your purchasing policy per the state bid law. As long as they turn it in, your parish treasurer has the authority to approve any purchases up to $60,000, as long as they provide any supplemental supporting documentation that she requests. So she might ask for 3 quotes just to substantiate whether or not it's effective, cost effective, or if it's a competitive rate. A lot of times, if they submit something, especially with the fire district, maybe it's a sole source provider, they're not allowed to use other vendors, then she can approve that. Anything over 60,000 has to come to the board for approval, and we have to follow public bid law to purchase, to go ahead and, so I know, I'm getting to your point, Mark. So we advertise. As those invoices come in, after you approve it through your purchase, through that policy, after you grant authority, we do have the authority to pay it if it's submitted before the end of the month. By giving her the approval and the authority to issue a purchase order, that's not authority to pay a bill. That's just authority to tell that vendor, yes, it is in our budget and we promise to pay you. It's like an IOU, but you still have to submit an invoice to us. It has to be reconciled. It has to be conformed with all of the requirements that our auditor requires. It has to be dated, it has to be timestamped. It has to maybe say, how many items, what's the rate per item. We have to reconcile all of that back to the requisition, which is why they have to turn it in by the 25th. So if a bill comes in on the 26th, it does not get put into your bill packets that you approved to purchase. It has to wait and go through the vetting process, making sure it reconciles to what the original requisition said, and it gets submitted for the next month. That responsibility of bills lies with the paid secretaries. So for the library board, I believe Ms. Tina Boudreau is that secretary. Each fire district has an appointed secretary. It's their responsibility to get the bills to our treasurer before the 26th with any other supplemental documents to support the purchase. That's why sometimes bills lag for 30 days.
So basically, if they get to y'all in a timely manner, and just say,
Yes.
if they pass a month, go on to the next, it should be worst case scenario, 60 days, correct?
Worst case, yes.
Yeah.
If they get sent to us. Now, there are instances where you have fire districts who make purchases and they give their physical fire station address as the billing address. When the bill goes to the physical billing address, I don't know if they check the mail that often. I don't know if they check the mail at all. So there are times where invoices are just lost, and 6 months later, vendors are calling us asking us, why haven't you paid this invoice? When our treasurer calls them back and says, what's your billing address do you have on file? They give us the fire station physical location. So the bills aren't getting mailed to us directly, they're getting mailed there, and maybe they're just lost in the mail because maybe they don't have a post office box there. Maybe the mail delivery is not delivering. So it's very important that the secretaries and everyone in the fire departments, the libraries, they have all of their bills sent to the police jury's billing address, not to the physical location of where the works occur. You're welcome.
Yeah, on the 14, two drilling permits, do these in any way indicate that they are gonna do carbon injection? Are these just test wells? By approving these permits, will we be giving them any authority to inject CO2?
No, these are only test wells,
Test
both
wells.
of them.
The way they're worded, they kinda,
A and B is test.
well, that's what they told us before. I just wanna make sure
That's
before we
correct.
approve that. So if we approve that, we are in no way allowing, at this time, CO2 injection.
Correct.
Correct.
the Apache Corporation, that's A on 15, wants to abandon that pipeline. That's a 2-inch pipeline, correct?
Yes, it's a 2-inch bulk oil pipeline that's gonna be abandoned in the Gulf of Mexico.
It's gonna be in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yes.
So I guess that would be our problem, that would be staying.
We good? Recess? Recess? All right,
10 minutes.
10-minute recess.